slowing it down. I swear, every time I drive through South Carolina, somewhere along the ride, it rains like this. Done. South Carolina, your state is very long and your weather can't make up its mind. At least it's pretty. South Carolina, I love you and all, but I am sick of looking at you. Looks like we are getting ready to cross into Georgia. It's the Savannah River there. And believe it or not, those were the first palmetto trees I have seen on the entire trip. Usually I'm going down to Myrtle Beach when I come into South Carolina. Like everybody else, I'm going to Myrtle Beach. And all we ever get to see are palmetto trees out the wazoo. I don't know if this is even, I can't even see anymore. That's the Savannah River that showed up in the video. Welcome to Georgia! Oh, yeah, that was close. Thanks. Appreciate it. I finally made it to the Sunshine State, and this is about the end of the sunshine that I'm going to get because it is raining. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. It's about 6:45 at night now, and I still have, Lord, about 140 miles to go, I guess. And I just can't wait to get to the hotel at this point. I'm going to crash. The next time I get one of these brilliant ideas to drive a bazillion miles to some other state, somebody just pinch me. I don't know, it's one of those things where I like it, but I don't. Because I like to see all these areas. I've never been in Florida other than Orlando. Like everybody else, I have come to Florida for Disney World, and that's about it. So it's kind of interesting getting to drive through. Now, this is a completely different area. I'm going to Tallahassee, so this is a completely different area of Florida than where Disney World is. But, and I'm grateful that I did this because I got to see 3 states that I don't get to look at a whole lot: South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. But man, this is brutal. My legs hurt, my butt hurts. I'm like, I don't know if you can call it cabin fever, but I'm just sort of restless. Like, I just want to pull over to the side of the road and just run around the car 30 times screaming kind of thing, you know? I'm sure you've been there. But anyway, here I am in the Sunshine State, and Lordy, I can't wait to get back to the hotel. Or to the hotel. I haven't even been there yet. So I'm in Tallahassee now, and I wanted to discuss the hotel that I'm in. Just do a quick little review, because, you know, that's what I do. And just wanted to show you around the hotel a little bit. Now, I do want to apologize. I've actually been here. It's Tuesday now, and I got here Saturday night, so it is lived in. and they haven't come in to do to make beds and stuff like that yet, so it's a mess, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So let's go down this long hallway. Never been in a hotel with a hallway like this before, but there it is. And we've got our little alcove. I bring way too many toiletries, so don't worry about me. This is what we got here. Little closet space. It's actually a fairly decent closet. It's, I want to open up. Not too bad, you know, you got your standard crap. Nice little hangers that you can't steal because they won't hang up on anything but their own rack. Everything you could possibly need, including the full-length mirror. There are so many full-length mirrors in this place. Here's another one. So, and bathroom. Decent tub. There's something about hotel tubs where they kind of like go down in the middle, so they're really kind of hard to stand up in. But there you go. Enough places to put all your junk, because I have a whole lot of crap that I like to bring into the shower. There you go. Now, for the rest of the room. Now I have double queen. I'm the only person staying here. And I do have a double queen bed, which I didn't turn any of the lights on, but you can still kind of see. The orange pillow is mine. I brought it from home. I have a hotel thing. I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. This is what this all looks like. Got a nice little TV. I have this here, and the refrigerator is actually in there. Check this out. Let me move my purse. They got this little refrigerator inside. And it's just this itty bitty little thing. It was enough for me to put my iced tea in there, but it's kind of neat. There's that. Nice artwork. All the amenities where that's like my crap catch, as the desk always is. They have a sweet chair. That's a sweet office chair. It is so comfortable, and it's so great for the back. And my friend that's here, she's got a bad hip and a bad back, so she always sits in that chair. And I, of course, hang out over here where I put my feet up, because, you know, I'm on vacation. She's not. She lives here. And here's my sweet view, guys. Here's my sweet view out of my window. Isn't that awesome? That's what I get to see out of my window. Not that there's a whole lot around. I mean, here's what I can see. That's the front of the property, and then the back of the property is over here, and it's like the interstate. And yes, it is the courtyard at Marriott, as you can see. There's the little, yay, zoom. But there you go. I look like Helen. I don't care. Doo-dah, doo-dah. I'm on my last full day here in Florida, and I woke up this morning and I said I don't feel like doing my hair. So it's in a ponytail and it's all over the place, and we're heading out to the beach later on anyway, so I don't care. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I got here Saturday night? Yeah, I got here Saturday night, and I'm actually leaving tomorrow. So I'll be heading back out tomorrow, and it is a 12-hour drive that I'm really seriously not looking forward to. It sucked coming down. The drive was, I've done 12-hour drives before, but when you're coming down through several states that really don't have anything along the side of the highway to look at, it's, oh God, it's so brutal. But I don't know. I made it. I got here alive. And honestly, I've been dreading the drive home since I got here, and it's coming because I got to get up tomorrow and do it. So I'm planning to leave fairly early tomorrow morning. This way I can get home at a reasonable time. I got here Saturday. I left at 9 in the morning, and I got here at 9 at night. So, and it was dark, and I'm in Tallahassee, Florida. And if you haven't come down to Tallahassee from, I was on 95 South. I was on 95 South. I came down and I hit Jacksonville, and then you turn in Jacksonville and you end up going down these little highways and everything, and it's interesting. It was probably the most interesting part of the ride, was the ride actually from Jacksonville to Tallahassee. But it was so dark, and I hate being in an unfamiliar state when it's dark. I don't know why. I mean, I can drive just fine, I can see just fine. There's no lights, but it's, for whatever reason, it's just really harrowing being in a state that you don't know when it gets dark. But I rolled up in here, there wasn't a problem, I got checked in, I'm good. And I've just got, the hotel isn't bad. I'm in a courtyard by Marriott, and the hotel's actually not bad. It's fairly clean. I do notice they don't vacuum every day. There was a sticker, it fell off one of my articles of clothing, and it landed on the floor, and I forgot to pick it up. I knew it dropped, and I was running around trying to be on time because my friend was on her way. And I figured, you know, okay, I'm gonna leave that there because the maid will get it. Well, when I got back, it was still on the floor. So they didn't run the vacuum. I know that. I know they didn't change the sheets because when I pulled the comforter back, my own hair was still on the bed sheets. Now, the first night, I have an issue with hotels as it is. I don't know why, but I'm like super skeeved out by hotels. They just skeeve me out, especially the beds. I have a real problem with the beds, and for a long time I would bring my own blankets and all that stuff so I could lay on my own blanket, and then I would have another blanket to wrap myself up with, and I'd have my own pillow. I've gotten past that. I can actually lay on the bed now. Almost set myself back quite a bit when I got here. Originally I was going to sleep in this bed that's directly behind me, because I kind of like being by the window, and also I was going to sleep in this bed right here. So I had been laying on it most of the night watching TV, just kind of vegging out, relaxing, and I was ready to go to bed, and I pulled back the sheets, and there's a spot on one of the sheets, and I looked real close because one of my big fears is bed bugs. Everybody's, you know, I'm really scared about bed bugs, and I see this little black dot, and I was pretty certain it was like a fuzzball or something, but I needed to make absolutely positively sure. So I bent down. It was not a bed bug. There are no bed bugs here. Believe me, I did check. There are no bed bugs. And I looked down and I was like, okay, well, it's just a little fuzzy. And then a little bit to the left of it, I see a hair. And then I see another hair and another hair. And I'm like, it kind of looked like somebody trimmed their hair in bed is what it looked like. And there was like little pieces still left over. And I'm like, what is that? And then I see longer hairs. Like, there's, you gotta be kidding. And I got a real good look at it, and there was a lot of hair in this particular bed. I don't know if it's still there. I haven't touched the bed since. I seriously have not touched the bed since. They were pubes. And I just about ran out of the room. I was done. As soon as I saw it, I was like, no, I can't do this. But it was, by the time I actually pulled the sheets back, it was like 2 in the morning. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Sleep in the car? It's Florida. I can't sleep in my very dark colored car in Florida. So I undid the other bed and I checked it out. I have the sheets up. I'm doing all this stuff like Hotel Impossible, like tearing the bed apart. And I'm looking at it and there's nothing on that one. So I did sleep on that bed. When I did the tour, you guys saw probably, and I think you can kind of see it right here. There's the orange pillow. That's actually my pillow from home. One of my many. I sleep with a lot of pillows, but I brought that with me because I have never gotten over the skeeve factor of sleeping on somebody else's pillow. And I don't know why. I've been like this my whole life, but I hate hotel room pillows. So I have them. I left them on the bed. You can see they're piled up on the side there, and I left them on the bed. And that was my little barricade, and I put them up there, and I just didn't touch them, and I slept on my own pillow. If I don't bring my own pillow, I have to put the pillow in a t-shirt and sleep on top of the t-shirt. I don't know why. I don't know what I think I'm going to catch. I don't know what my problem is, but I can't do hotel pillows and stuff. So, but overall, hotel's nice. Obviously, as I showed you, I have no view. I don't really particularly care. I'm not in the room most of the day. I sleep here. I'm vegging out at night watching stupid stuff on HGTV. I'm not looking out the window, so I don't particularly care that there's not that great of a view. A little surprised they put me behind the sign because the hotel's not full, and usually if the hotel isn't full, they like to kind of put you over towards the roadside to make it look like the hotel is full. And I'm a little surprised that they put me behind here because my room, when the light's on, can't be seen from the street. So I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, there's little issues here and there. I mean, like there's a hole in the screen I just noticed, but I'm fascinated by the fact that I can crack the window. Which I don't know why that's such a big deal because it is so hot and humid down here. Humidity. But I have the window open. That was one of the first things I noticed when I came here. I've been to Florida before, but like everybody else, I've been to Florida because I came to Disney World, and I was like 13 or 14 the last time I came to Disney World, and that's obviously it's down in Orlando, and I'm in Tallahassee, which is in a completely different area of Florida. I've never been anywhere near Tallahassee before. So I was gung-ho about driving down here, which, you know, turned out to not be such a great idea, but I did it anyway. When I got out of the car at the hotel, it was like being gut punched. I can deal with heat. I'm okay with the heat. But it's one of those things where, you know, there's always the joke about, like, people in Arizona where people talk about how hot it is in Arizona, and then people say, oh, but it's a dry heat. And everybody kind of laughs about it. It actually is meaningful. The dry heat thing is actually meaningful. It's actually not as hot here in Florida as it is in North Carolina, where I just came from. And because, I mean, the temperatures have been like in the 80s. Mid to upper 80s most of the time. But the humidity is so bad. It's like being covered in cooking grease all the time. That's what it feels like. And I absolutely love the area. I mean, Tallahassee is such a beautiful area. And I seriously could live here, except I can't deal with the humidity. That's the only thing that would stop me from, like, just moving here, is I can't deal with the humidity. Yesterday, I got into my car, and I hadn't moved my car the day before on Sunday. I hadn't moved it at all. My friend's doing all the driving because she likes to do all the driving. So she's doing all the driving, and I've been leaving my car here at the hotel. So I had parked my car closer to the building because, again, I'm also afraid of, you know, people breaking into my car, or it's a brand new car. I'm afraid of people scratching it up and denting it and all. So I parked a little closer to the building. So yesterday, my friend was running a little late, so I told her, you know, okay, I'm going to go out and get myself some lunch, and then we'll meet back at the hotel, you know, at 2 o'clock. So I went out to a Cuban cafe, or a Cuban grill, I should say. It was phenomenal. Expensive, but worth it. But I go downstairs, and I open up the car, and I swear to God, it hissed when I opened up the door. That's hot. I mean, come on, that's hot. My car actually hissed when I opened the door. I was mind boggled, and I tried to keep the sunroof open while I was out, just to get the air out. And even when I went into the Cuban grill, I left the sunroof open just to get let the air kind of circulate and everything. And I got back, and I got it tucked under a tree. Now there's like a line of trees on the other side here, and I've got my car like tucked in there under the shade, because we're going down to the beach today. And again, she's driving, so the car's going to sit, and I wanted it out of the sun because I don't want to crack it open tonight and have it hiss at me again. So that was really bizarre. And my car's got the GPS built into the dashboard. That sucker was on the fritz. It was terrible. But it's been a good trip. I'm enjoying being down here. It was a long time coming. This trip was definitely a long time coming. I've been friends with this girl for about 15 years. And she's somebody, I actually met her online. And I think I met her through another friend who I also met online. And we were friends. It was this site that we all three of us used. It was Open Diary was the site. Well, Open Diary doesn't exist anymore. It's closed down. But we kind of stayed together on Facebook. And we've been friends for 15 years. Now, during the past year and a half that my father's been sick, it's one of the things I always say to people is you find out who your real friends are when you have a crisis. And I found out that I have two very good friends, because they were really the only ones that were solidly there for the whole thing. And I understand there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of things that people really don't want to hear about and stuff like that, but these two particular people were there, and they listened even if they didn't want to, because they knew I needed to vent, and I needed to get it out, and I needed to get it off my chest. And one of them was my friend Gail, who actually lives up in North Carolina, and the other one was my friend Melissa, who I am visiting down here in Florida. And it was one of these things. I have this issue, which a lot of people don't know. I will wake up one morning and decide I'm going to do something, and it's not really a spur of the moment thing. A lot of people call it spur of the moment, but with me, it's not really spur of the moment. It's usually something. It's either a trip, or it's a major purchase that I've been planning for a long period of time, but for whatever reason I've been putting off. Either nerves, or I don't think I can handle it, or whatever the case may be. And then one day I wake up in the morning and I say, I'm going to do this, and I have to get it done immediately. That's kind of what happened with this trip. I guess it was not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I woke up in the morning and decided I was going to Tallahassee. So I contacted my friend Melissa and I said, hey, how would you like a visitor? She was cool with it. So, you know, I made the plans, got my hotel, and I came down to Tallahassee. And I finally got to meet this girl that I've been friends with for 15 years, and I had never even spoken to on the phone. So, it's working out well. We're actually getting along quite well. We are slightly different, but we're also slightly the same, so we seem to mesh quite well. And we're getting along. But it was probably, you know, it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, I'm going to do this. I'm doing it. Here I go. Bye. And it's, you know, it's interesting. But, you know, I had to leave my mom up north with the dog, which was fun because she can't really walk the dog. So my neighbor's taking care of it. And it's, but my mom was all for it because it's been, me and her used to go on trips. Like we'd go to Myrtle Beach or we'd go, you know, one of the shore points somewhere up along the East Coast. And we haven't really been able to, obviously, because of the past year with my father and everything. We haven't been able to do any of that. So it's been quite a while since me and my mom took a trip. So when I came to her and said that I wanted to drive to Tallahassee, she was actually all for it. So it was bizarre. But I'm enjoying myself. I really, like I said, I really like the area. I could live here. I really could live in Tallahassee, except for the weather. I can't stand it. I don't do well with humidity at all. I can handle the heat. I don't like the heat, but I can handle the heat if I have to. The humidity, on the other hand, is like, ugh. So, but if it wasn't for the humidity, I could totally live here. I could totally rock this down here. It's a beautiful area, and you've got, it's like a perfect mix. You can be in the city when you want to be, and then you can immediately be in the country if you want to be. And it's just, it's very green, and there's a lot of Spanish moss, and there's these weird little palm trees and these beautiful flowers, and the sky is bright blue, and it's, you know, I don't know, it's, I just like it down here, but humidity and needing a job. That's the problems that I've got. And yeah, I don't know, it was also a culture shock because as some of you know, I'm from New Jersey, and back in 2002, I guess it was, I moved to North Carolina, and that was culture shock. That was some serious culture shock. But in that period of time, everybody else from New Jersey has moved down to North Carolina, and they've pretty much turned North Carolina into New Jersey. It's the area of the state that I'm in is becoming a waste of oxygen, and you know, it's very overcrowded, it's very overbuilt, and it's very, they never did anything with the infrastructure, so it's like big city living on a sleepy country town infrastructure, and you know, it's kind of tough to deal with. But that was, I had kind of reverse culture shock because now everybody that I'm living around is from where I originally lived. So now everything is going from being southern to being northern, which is really annoying because I prefer southern. And you know, everything's changing because everybody's pissed off that their jobs transferred down south and they don't like being there, so they have to turn it into the north. So I came down to Florida, and of course, you know, they don't show you the country parts of Florida on TV. So I wasn't kind of expecting it. I wasn't expecting the bear signs and things like that. And again, it was a little more culture shock because it's what North Carolina was 10 years ago. And I've seen it, and I knew what it was, so it was kind of like a miniature culture shock. But I do like it here. I do like it, but I'm so afraid. Obviously, New Jersey followed me to North Carolina, and I'd be afraid that if I moved to Florida, it would follow me to Florida. And that would suck. Because it has to sweep down, which means it would take South Carolina and Georgia with it, so. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I'm starting to ramble. I appreciate you guys waiting. I know I had done a video that I did on my phone that was completely unedited and looked like garbage, but I wanted to let you guys know because by the time I get back, it's going to be 2 weeks since I did a video, and I want people going, oh my god, she abandoned us. So I'm glad you guys hung in there and waited for me. This video I know is not going to be very interesting because I didn't have a humongous chance to do a whole lot of videoing. I mean, I'm down here to visit a friend. And I didn't really get around to seeing a whole lot of sites, and the stuff that we did, we're conversing. I mean, we're having a conversation. I'm here to see my friend. I'm getting to know my friend. We're talking a lot, and I'm not thinking about videoing. So we're engaged in conversation, and then like halfway through, we're almost back to the hotel, and I'm like, I should have done some videoing and I didn't, so I just didn't. So there's going to be a lot of driving. There's going to be a lot of stuff from in the car. I do have some footage from, you know, driving around Tallahassee, because we just kind of, yesterday we just kind of drove around, so I do have some footage from that. I've got some footage from the road trip down. I missed a couple of things, so I'm going to try to do that again on the way back up. I can't really converse in the car on the road trip. I bought a mount for the windshield. And it was this nice sturdy, it was like a $30 mount, and I put my cell phone in there. It holds the cell phone really well. And I didn't realize how badly it was bouncing. So I'm driving down and the phone's going like this, and I'm like, I can't do a video like that, because it'll just, you know, I'll be bouncing up and down the whole video. My viewers will get seasick. It'll be awful. So I'm trying to do video from the other camera out the windshield, and then I'm just going to speed it up so that it doesn't make everybody vomit when they're when they're watching it. I don't want everybody getting seasick, needing Dramamine to watch my video. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. Have a little bit more video for you, but this is probably the last time I'm going to cut in. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week. Bye! Hey guys, so this is my last day in Tallahassee. I'm actually in the process of packing up my room so that I can go back out on the road for yet another 12-hour drive. I'm actually taking a different route this time, so it should be a little bit more interesting. I'm going to be going through Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm going to go up that way and then go through Greenville, South Carolina, and then Charlotte, North Carolina, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been an interesting night. I had a person move in to the room above me yesterday, and I discovered that because at like 6:30 yesterday morning, I don't even know if that picked up, but God, I hope it did. At 6:30 yesterday morning, he started running back and forth in his room. I don't know what he's doing up there, but he paces back and forth very loudly. So that woke me up yesterday morning at about 6:30. I went out to breakfast with my friend a little later. I came back and stayed here while she took care of her husband, and nothing. There's no noise. So I figured, okay, well, it was an anomaly. It happens. It's a hotel. This kind of thing happens. So I just figured I'll just move on with my life. Last night around 9:30, 10 o'clock, it started again. He was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He was opening, closing windows, going back and forth, heavy-footed as much as he possibly could. And I'm like, what is he doing? It went on for several hours. I finally crawled into bed at 12:30 last night, or this morning. He was still doing it at 12:30. So I somehow managed to fall asleep through it, and occasionally he would hit just hard enough during the night that it would wake me up. So I was up and down all night because this guy literally did this all night. I don't know if he's practicing for a marathon in his room or what he's doing, but I complained. I knocked on the ceiling. I did everything I could possibly think of, and it just never stopped. So I was up again at, the butt crack of dawn because he dropped something or he slammed his foot down on the ground or whatever it was, and it woke me up. And I decided, you know what? I'm packing up today anyway, so I'm just going to crawl out of bed. I am exhausted, guys. I am so tired. And it's mostly because this guy had me up really early yesterday, and then today as well, plus he had me up all night. So, this is one of the reasons I hate hotels. I have issues with hotels anyway, I said that. But I always seem to get either people fighting in the room next to me or somebody slamming their feet around on the room above me. And it just seems like every single time, especially if I've traveled by myself. Oh God, I'm sick of hotels. I hate them. Anyway, I am going to be packing up my stuff. I'm almost done packing up my room, and I have got to get my butt on the road. So I will see you guys later. Have a good one. On South Carolina's giant peach, and I will discuss that at some later date, or later time rather, not while I'm driving. If I can get it from the winning angle. Unfortunately, the winning angle is when you're coming into South Carolina and not leaving South Carolina. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the winning angle. It's a giant butt. It's a giant butt. Buy a giant butt.